Hi. I thought I'd do a little bit of an update. I'm in the park and it's really dark, so I just do a voice. Uh, this week, well, last week, because it's Sunday the 26th now. The markets, the S&P closed at a new all-time closing high on Thursday. Market was closed for Christmas on Friday. Reopened tomorrow, Monday as normal. So that's basically they're just buying the dips all the time. There's a shed load of cash out there, and it's got to go somewhere. It's going into assets, going into stock markets, going into cryptos, it's going into property, going into art, going into collectible cars, collectible anything really. I didn't have a great week. My intraday trades were good, all on the Nasdaq. My swing trades were not so good. Closed a couple of shorts and a long, and the shorts, the long didn't offset the loss on the shorts, so I was down about 2% on the week. But that's trading. Cryptos had a better couple of days. The last couple of days, Bitcoin is back over 50,000, ETH is back over 4,000. I still think we haven't seen the all-time highs. Bitcoin may test the all-time highs in the next few months. I think it's possible. I think Ethereum may outdo Bitcoin in terms of market cap eventually. It's 1 trillion. Bitcoin's around 1 trillion. ETH is around 400 billion. So it's got a way to go to do that. There's pros and cons of each. Luna's done really well, and typically Soz Law, it's the smallest holding I have, and it's shot up. It was $100. Was it $100? Yeah, I think so. I think briefly it was $100 yesterday. And stuff like Polkadot is firmer as well. Cardano is not really joining the party, which is a little bit of a worry. And I do have quite a bit of Cardano, and I'm thinking of dumping some of it and maybe just putting it into ETH. I'll see how it trades in the next few weeks. There's no news from Cardano. I think that's the problem. The market has been quite, looking forward to positive news, and there is none. So that's a little bit of a concern. Polygon's done well. Polygon stroke Matic. I think it made an all-time high today, actually. I think it was around 288, I think. I'm re-recording this because I tried to do a video before, and I seem to run out of space, or maybe there's a problem with the phone, I don't know. I was thinking about the philosophy earlier, and I probably already mentioned I'm a big fan of the Stoic writers, Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, who's Roman emperor, of course, and Epictetus. There's another couple. There's Cato. I think it is Cato, and I think their philosophy, their writings, still resonate today. I was listening to the collected letters of Seneca, and he was on holiday in around Naples. Maybe it was Sorrento, which is across the bay from Naples, and he's complaining about the young people playing their music too loud. It's amazing. I mean, nothing changes. That's obviously it wasn't electrically amplified music. It was just music, but he was still complaining. An old guy complaining about young people. Nothing changes. Nothing new under the sun, as I think Shakespeare said. So I recommend a book. It's called The Daily Stoic, and there's a podcast called The Daily Stoic as well. Um, the book is good. It's just 366 separate little chunks of Stoic philosophy, one per day of the year, plus obviously they shoved in a bonus day, and you can just pick it up and read. You can just dip into it whenever, and it's an interesting. In these times when we're so, or lots of people are so obsessed with social media and how people think of you and everything. I think it's quite a good thing to step back. I believe we are no different than we were 2,000 years ago at the time of the ancient Greeks or the Romans. We are basically grown up apes. That's all we are. We've got fancy modern technology like this thing I'm recording this on, but our lusts, desires, fears, are no different from Seneca's time, and so I think you can learn a lot from those ancient voices, and because they weren't distracted by all the modern stuff, the TV and films and everything, because they weren't distracted. I think they maybe had better sort of, as the Americans call it, quality time to just think. And I think it's sad. I think we sort of lost that. One of the things I like about coming to places, even like here, I'm just up on the hill in the park. It's it's a cloudy night. You can see a bit of the sky. You can probably hear that plane taking off. I like lonely places. I like mountains. I've been climbing mountains for years. I like to feel the sort of grandeur of nature. It's one of the reasons I live here. Is I love the combination of the mountains and the sea. You can be in the high mountains here very quickly, but you're also very aware of the sea and the history of the place is quite fascinating. Nice is called Nice because the Greek name for victory is Nikai, and it was after the Phoenicians and the Greeks. It was a Roman settlement, and then the Victorians came. Queen Victoria came, made it a popular holiday destination, and so it's an interesting subject. The Stoic philosophy. You can get the collected letters of Seneca are free to download as an audiobook from LibriVox. If you look up LibriVox on the internet, you'll find it, and they basically have all the out of copyright works, authors, in audiobook form. Volunteers record them, and then you can download them. It's a brilliant resource. So so if you like the audio, I was going to call it a video, but it isn't. It's an audio. Give it a like. Leave some comments. As regards the cryptos, there's there's an interesting website with a fear and greed index on cryptos on it. I'll add it to the description, and that's it goes to 0 to 100. And last week or the week before, we were at extreme fear. We were down in the 20s. Now we're back around 45. I think it's updated every 24 hours, and so we're this isn't investment advice by any means, but you could probably do worse than buy during times of extreme fear and sell into extreme greed, because I don't believe, like I was talking about the ancient Romans, I don't believe fear and greed have changed. Human emotions haven't changed. The markets haven't changed. You read Education of a Speculator about his name eludes me. A famous speculator from the 20s, and basically there's nothing new in terms of the markets. It's just a new crowd comes in and think they know it all. But one of the compensations for getting old, just about the only one, is you hopefully you get a little bit wiser as you get old. When in our youth, as people, we think we know it all, and as you get older, you realise you know nothing. But I hope I am. I'm increasingly open to greater wisdom and learning from it. And as I say, so like ancient authors like Seneca, like Marcus Aurelius, but also younger people like, for example, cryptos. There's people who know a hell of a lot more about it than I do, and I'm quite willing to learn from them, and equity markets in general. I mean, I've spent a long time studying equity markets. So if you like the video, yeah, as I say, give it a like, leave a comment. I'd be interested to hear from anybody else's opinions on Bitcoin and Ethereum and the changes we're going to see in terms of decentralized finance, DeFi as they call it. I think Ethereum can overtake Bitcoin eventually in terms of market cap. I don't know how long that's going to take, but anyway, that's my thoughts this evening. So I'll leave it at that. Okay.